I have the privilege of sharing a Dharma journey of someone we've known actually not a very long time, and I have her permission to share all of this. So it's a very touching and inspiring journey. I thought we'd known Levita much longer than 2 years, but it turns out when I looked through my emails that I first heard from her April 2nd, 2014. It seems like much longer ago. So this is the first contact that I had, and the email read this. Greetings, my name is Levita Kennedy. I had the pleasure of attending Venerable Children's talk tonight at the Jewel Heart Center in Cleveland. I've been studying Dharma via YouTube and books and meditating and keeping the 5 precepts since June 2nd, 2013. Venerable suggested that I contact SAFE after I expressed my desire to learn and develop myself, but I'm limited with finances and there's no close Dharma center. I'm interested in starting as soon as possible, as soon as I'm approved. Well, all you have to do is sign up. That's about it. I have been given a gift of time, and I wish to use it to learn as much as I can, as my compassion wing is more muscular than my wisdom wing is. This circle flying is not productive. Please help. In all seriousness, I'm so excited to have this precious human life, and I wish to pay forward to others the happiness and control of fear I have found, even in my very limited knowledge of the path. I'm filled with joy, not only for being accepted into SAFE, but also by the fact that out of my 7 Dharma books, 3 of them are on the reading list, and I haven't read them yet. And I'm one of those easily pleased and amazed at small wonders kind of gal. In gratitude for my blessings, I have penned a ditty as a gift for you. So Levita knew that the Dharma is offered freely, but she still wanted to do this. So this is her offering, called The Offering. I want to make an offering, but I have no money to give. My husband works 12 hours a day, and so the 8 of us can live. Here in Appalachia, we survive hand to mouth. We are blessed to have a good hot meal, a coat, and a house. I want to make an offering, I thought as I stretched another dinner, an offering to thank the Buddha. Then I saw the winner. Tall, fluffy biscuits sat cooling on the rack. One was so light and flaky, no butter did it lack. I took the perfect biscuit carefully and set it on our altar. Buddha's biscuit sat there all day long, its beauty didn't falter. When I practiced meditation that night, I saw Buddha sitting in pure white light. He was eating my biscuits with delight. I want to make an offering. I have no money to pay, but that's okay. Buddha enjoys a good old country biscuit any day. In gratitude, Levita. So Levita took course 1A, and she just blossomed week by week. And this is her last paragraph in the final reflection that she wrote in July of 2014. To say that I've been changed by this course would be a huge understatement. I don't even feel if I'm the same person. Who is this loving Levita, and where has she been all my life? I'm loving my makeover. I'm so pretty on the inside now, and I've got the smile to prove it. I dedicate all the merit I've earned during this course to benefit all sentient beings. Thank you. So then she went on and she got a different facilitator and she continued with SAFE. And so our correspondence did continue, but it was just, hellos here and there. So then last fall, in September, she wrote this. I watched Venerable Children talk about His Holiness's comments on mothers. Please let the nuns know that they are the mothers to we mothers. I don't have a biological mother that accepts the Dharma. So many times I've leaned on talks from my dear nuns to help and support my mothering efforts. I have thought about you all as mother figures for years. A mother nurtures, a mother teaches, a mother feeds your mind and exhibits kindness. Yeah, and y'all qualify. I have adopted 4 kids. Mothers aren't the ones that birthed ya, they're the ones that grow ya. Thank y'all for being my mothers. Love, Levita. So then, time goes on again, and now it's June, and I think it was something like June 2nd, and Venerable Semte came up to me, and we were just about to start lunch, and she said, are we expecting someone? And I should know the answer now. I should know better than say, I don't know. I should say, yes, we are. I don't know who it is. So we are expecting someone. We're expecting all of you to show up. So I went downstairs, and because Levita and I had never met, of course, there's this woman there, and she runs up and hugs me, and I thought, oh, hi. And so she introduced herself, and she said that she had been planning this trip for months, and actually we didn't know. She had been communicating with her facilitator, but her facilitator thought that we knew. But we didn't know, so it didn't matter. And she had driven 2,200 miles across the country to come to Sravasti Abbey with her two 20-something children. So they joined us for lunch, and then they joined us for offering service, because that's the next thing you do here. But they had a wonderful time. They drove out to Seattle, they came back, and the causes and conditions came together for Levita to take refuge in precepts of venerable children. It was just amazing timing. And her husband had teamed up with them in Seattle, so then they all headed back to Warren, Ohio. So then there was a bit of space and time. And then, what date is it today? So 4 days ago, I opened up my email at 7 in the morning, and I encountered this email. Dear Venerable Samten, our son Glenn was killed by a car this morning. Please instruct us as to how to help him. Please do puja if appropriate. You met our family. We are heartbroken. So immediately I got typing a message, and then the phone rang, and I know well enough now that when the phone rings before 7:30 in the morning, somebody really needs something. So it was Levita, and she was crying, and she was just asking, what do we do? And there was absolutely no trace of grief in her voice. I mean, there's no trace of guilt in her voice. It was just, here's the situation. Our son has been killed. What do we do? How do we help him? We don't want to harm him. How do we help him? And so I started telling her, just being the tape recorder on Venerable Children's behalf, just telling her what I've heard. And she was very comforted by that. And so she just said, thank you, and we're just glad that you're here for us. Then the very next day, and I told her we would do puja, and we did that night. So on the night of August 23rd, we did Medicine Buddha puja. The very next morning, there's this email waiting, and this is going to get you, so I'll try and read it. Okay. Dear Abbey and Dharma friends, what joy these photos and your efforts have brought to us. You are our jewel. We are meditating and doing King of Prayers each day. Our family is working on a plan to do an act of kindness on Glenn's behalf. We feel so supported by our Sangha. This is an incredible blessing at this time of rawness. Know that we appreciate each and every one of the loving beings at the Abbey. Here's the part that's fantastic. Being Tashi and not Levita is very real to me currently. This is her refuge name. Levita would be popping Xanax like candy. She'd be tearing up her home. She'd be angry, hateful, and probably suicidal. Levita would be stuck in samsara. Tashi takes refuge in the three jewels. She didn't need Xanax. She has the Buddha, Dharma, and her precious Sangha for refuge. Tashi meditated and trusts in the Dharma. She contacts her Dharma friends at the Abbey for consult. Tashi cleans and opens her home to grieving friends. She looks for the lesson to improve her life. She renounces samsara and suffering. She embraces change and impermanence. I love being Tashi. I expect more from myself as Tashi. I check myself. Would this be a Tashi or a Veet thing to do? I always choose to be Tashi. Taking my precepts was altering, and being able to have Venerable give them to me was so precious to me. There is a lot of pain with losing a child, more than I've ever felt before. And yet, it's less than Levita's over-attached way of grasping. It's Tashi, me, letting go of the pain of attachment, letting go of anger, letting go of ignorance, and being blessed and a blessing, even when samsara crashes down. Thank you for existing. Oh, gee. I wouldn't have the Dharma without you. I wouldn't have peace in my chaotic world. Thank you. Tashi. So I thought I'd share some things in conclusion. Grief is the process of adjusting to unwanted change, and since change is unrelenting, we bear every day unrecognized micro-griefs. So I was most interested in to find out from Guy what really helped him. He did tell us when he was here, but just seeing it again I think is helpful for everyone, because we're all on the brink of losing someone dear to us, or we're losing our own life. We're on the brink. So let's be ready for it. How to help. So how is this intimacy expressed when someone breaks his or her neck, or loses a limb, or is dying, or loses his or her partner? How can we help those who are grieving or traumatized? First, form a genuine and specific intention to help. When you hear of and are moved by a report of someone's suffering, make a mental commitment. I will do something to help. And most often, we don't even get this far. We stop with, oh, I feel for that person, or I should feel for that person. Don't fall for the illusion that this is something apart from you. We are dying. We are facing grave loss. Joan Halifax writes, we may take care of a dying friend and make the natural mistake of thinking ourselves separate from his or her experience. In our minds, we may divide ourselves from her or him. She is dying. I'm the caregiver. But in reality, we are joined by the bonds of impermanence. Don't miss a chance to be kind. See if you can say something heartfelt in a card or an email, or face-to-face. It is natural that you may not know what to say, or fear that you will say something wrong. Do the best you can. Sometimes when you start to write, your heart opens and words appear. Most of the condolence cards I got seemed in the moment to give me absolutely no comfort. But over time, they softened my sense of alienation. They connected me to people who cared and shared in what I lost, and in some measure, my loss. Eventually, it dawned on me it would have been so much worse if no one had made this gesture. So thank you, Levita, for the inspiration. And let's be brave like Levita and lean into samsara with love.